Jaydan, how are you going, sir?
Yeah, good, man. How are you?
Another lovely morning.
It is 2021.
2021, and we're kicking it off with a new guest for the year.
That's right. Real
Isn't that
Estate
cool?
Raw.
Real Estate Raw.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Who's on today?
Who's on today? Well, hang on. Do we have someone special today? Are we ready?
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Oh.
Let's get ready.
Rumble. We have Adam Cini here from Movement Realty. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Doing very well.
Welcome.
That's good. Thanks for the intro there.
No,
that's all right.
Yeah.
Special request. Yeah. So, Adam, you've recently sort of jumped into real estate, but your journey to get there has been a little bit different to what most people we've had a conversation with.
Yeah, it's been a pretty quick process, I believe, compared to what it normally should take. I guess if you look at my character, though, I normally decide to do something and go all out.
Yeah,
I love it.
So you started in motor racing, didn't you? First, like I mean, you were motorbike racing, so
yep.
That's kind of what you were.
That is so cool.
I guess motorcycles are fast. Everything in my life's fast. So build a business fast.
So it's full on
and give it everything you got. Yeah.
So how did that start? Like to be a professional motorcycle racer? Like that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I guess it all started when I was young. I actually played soccer, football, played for Bribie Island. Yep. And again, I felt that I was the better player of the team and carried the team a little bit. I'm not being cocky, but then when it comes to the end of the year, there's this one trophy, the biggest trophy, and it's called Best and Fairest. I got it the first year. Second year, I missed it, and I believe it was because maybe I didn't take training as serious, and the coach gave it to maybe a hard worker in training. But on game day, I showed up and played well. So me being competitive and didn't get the trophy, I thought, oh, screw this, I'm out of it. So I'll go and do an individual sport. And then, I went and raced motorcycles. I did beg my parents for a long time to get a motorcycle. But when I got it, I just took to it really quickly. And again, I probably started when I was 13, and when I was 15, I was winning Australian races. So
wow.
Yeah. So how do you get to that stage from just like buying a bike to like driving it around a track to like being in the sport?
Yeah, it wasn't just all on my back. Like my parents got me going pretty quickly. Like I didn't just do club days. I went club days into state races pretty quickly, and then straight away into interstate. So, and then every day I'd come home from school and I'd be riding every day. So I fast tracked where people were racing on weekends. I was riding every day and for hours at a time. So, and that's kind of like my real estate life, I guess.
So you just got that dedication where you put your mind to something. It's like, yep, I'm all in and I'm just going to make this work. It doesn't matter whether it's soccer or motorbike. I mean, they're very, very different things.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at blocking things out and getting tunnel vision. So even when I was a professional racer, some people might have thought I was a bit maybe snobby on the day, not socialising when I was just focused. And all that's going through my head is how I'm going to be better in the next race and how can I improve on the last one.
That's right. Like one man, one mission,
Boom. I know, yeah. So how long did that career last for then?
I'd say I kind of retired, I guess, when I was 27.
Okay.
So I was racing juniors, but you're not really professional. So I'd say when I was 17, maybe, 17.
10
16.
years of pro racing. From 17 to 27?
Yeah, probably a bit over,
A bit over that? Yeah, wow. So I bet that you have a few war wounds to...
Yeah, my body's banged up and I've got a lot. But I'm not in a wheelchair, so I'm coming out all right.
Oh, good. Awesome. So what made you move into real estate from being a motorcycle racer?
Yeah, so you got from soccer to motorcycle racing to real estate agent. I mean, they're all very extraordinarily different
I have
things.
had other jobs in between. But I guess coming from an athlete and I guess something that generates a lot of adrenaline, it was pretty difficult when I pulled the pin from racing because every day you're practicing with your buddies and you're doing something that you just love to do. And then I guess you add adrenaline and endorphins from exercise and you're on a massive high the whole time. And then when that just suddenly stops and you do a career that you're not enjoying, it's a rough ride. I can openly talk to people about it all the time. But like I used to wake up at 5 a.m. to do a job I didn't want to do, and instead of the alarm going off and you're jumping out of bed, like, let's get the day done.
You're rolling out.
You're sitting on the edge of the bed wanting to hit your head on the bedside table.
Yeah.
Like,
Haven't we all been there before?
So then I kind of felt there's got to be more to life after bikes, but more to what I'm doing now. And it's not that I chose real estate. I kind of fell into it, but I kind of felt when I started it was the right thing for me, because racing motorcycles, you might get a small sign-on fee and then you make your money with results. Mm-hmm. So you're only getting paid with results, so you have to work hard to get results. And real estate's the same game to me. I look at it like a game, and to me it's a competition. So I only get paid with results, so I want to be the best and get paid.
Of course.
That's a pretty cool mindset to have, isn't it, really?
It
is. You're going in there like with the end goal in mind, not just churning through another listing, another appraisal, another job.
Yeah, of course I'm there for the people. Like the last thing I want to do is piss people off, and I want to do the right thing. It's my reputation on the line, and I'm not that person to do the wrong thing. But as far as other agents and everything are concerned, I treat it like a sport now. They're my competition. I block them all on Facebook. I now don't want to have anything to do with them, because at the end of the day, if I become buddies with them, I feel like I won't be doing my job properly. I won't be jumping that expired listing, and I'll feel bad for doing that. And some people look at it differently, but I kind of at first tried to work with other agents and I got a bit shafted a couple of times. So now I just thought, my first plan, whereas I was going to treat it like a sport, that was the better idea for me. So now if you're in Movement Realty, you're on my team, and I'll do whatever it takes to get you where you need to be and help you. Like, I've got a couple of new agents starting. But yeah, if you're on another agency, I guess you're in my competition, and we're battling to win.
Watch out.
No,
guys.
I don't take it like personally now. Yeah. Like at first when they were jumping my listings, I was like, oh man, these guys, and getting all angry about it. I don't get angry now. If they didn't do it, they're not doing their job. So we're just competing now.
So let's wind back the clock to where it all started. So how does real estate just fall into your lap? So
I was doing another job, and I bumped into, I'm not going to mention names and agencies, but I bumped into an agency owner, and he said, oh, how's things going? And I said, oh yeah, I'm not really into it. Have you got a job for me? Just mucking around.
Yeah.
And he said, I got a guy leaving in 2 weeks. Do you want to start? And I didn't take him serious. I didn't think much of it, but sure enough, 2 weeks later he called and said, where are you? He said, you'll start. And I said, oh, I thought you were taking a piss, mate. So I ended up going, and I got a start. Unfortunately, it was pretty much, there's your desk over there, mate. Good luck. I knew nothing about real estate. Other than that, I flipped a few houses in my time, and that's probably the only knowledge I sort of had. So when I did commit, and I kind of thought it could be an opportunity here, I just buckled down and got it done and put in some good hours.
That's brilliant. That's awesome.
So real estate, just like, the other things, there's no instruction manual for it. It's all experience. You just got to learn it and figure it out, and, work out what works, what doesn't work.
I kind of felt going into a big agency, they would have like a system and guide you along the path, but I had absolutely nothing. Just, there's your CRM, there's your desk.
Strap in and good luck with it.
We've heard that a few times, haven't we now, Jay?
Not like, oh, you should be doing this to prospect, mate. You should be
like some sort of mentorship at least.
Yeah, almost. So it was none of that at all. I was getting up at ridiculous hours, like 4:30 in the morning, whatever, just YouTubing. So many different top agents on how to do a listing presentation, how to do everything. I was every day educating myself, whether it be early in the morning. Tom Panos, when I'm driving, I'd be driving somewhere and it's just Tom Panos.
Yeah.
I love that guy and what he does. It's just perfect for learning. And then, at night time I'd be up doing the same thing. But, I knew I had to do it if I was going to swim out of it. So
yeah, right. So what was different about real estate that made you love it from the previous job? You're at what was that one thing that sort of made you want to keep learning and not just throw the towel in?
Yeah, it's intimidating at like cold calling and all that stuff. It was freaking me out at the start. hated it. But I think it's mainly it's like the chase, like in sport. Like I think me making it a competition is what's driving me. So now, who I thought was what do you call them? Senior agents, you'd say. That's what they call themselves in there.
Yeah.
Senior agents. To me, I was like, oh, yeah, well, they make okay money and they're up here, I'm here. And it's only been 3 years and now I don't really see it like that at all. I'm not being cheeky, but I feel like
they're like almost all the same.
I felt like I now do a lot more than what I've seen others do. And now the only people in my side are like, I don't know, agents that are selling good volume. So that's my goal, and I have them there, and I look at it every day, and I want to be there. So yeah, I'll just keep chipping away, and we'll get there.
So you went from that, you wanted people to chase in that office, and that's obviously driven you then into starting your own, right?
Yeah, so I went from one office to another. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like I got ripped off in a couple deals, and they wouldn't be, I don't know, man up about it. So, yeah, I ended up saying, well, I'm not going to have it a third time. I'll just start my own gig. It was a bit, like when I explained it to my wife, she's like, oh, here we go again. But, I don't know. I don't like getting shafted, and I'll do what it takes to make it my way. And I was pretty comfortable because I was working at that point with a conveyancer, Tanya. And ever since I met her, she's been like a second mother to me. And I knew I had that solid backing with her to support me in anything I needed to know or needed help with. And so, yeah, I just felt comfortable and we'll just go get it done.
So then Movement Realty was born.
Yes.
Wow.
Only 3 years ago, 2017.
That's amazing.
It's a young business.
It is a young business.
Oh, well, I started in real estate then. So Movement Realty's probably nearly 2 years now.
2 years old. Oh,
wow.
Even better.
So I was probably in real estate for 2 years with other people, and then after 2 years I started my own gig. And when I went to like Chris Gilmore, what do you call it, coaching things, and I heard he started in 5, and I was like, wow, that's quick. But yeah,
you're like, no, I got to beat that.
I'm going to beat that
competition.
Another example is I went and got my aeroplane license, and I found out what the time was to do your lessons with a trainer and then go solo. Yeah. And yeah, I just wanted to beat that as well. So I was flying planes in like 8 hours. So
oh my God.
That's amazing.
It's just everything's a competition. So.
I think it's all about that drive and determination to like that one goal, not being distracted by like other things and possibilities. It's just like as soon as you have your just like you said, your blinders on, it's like bang, and you're a racehorse right out the gate.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's like two distinct. So we discussed this I think in an episode like a long time ago, right? So that emotional feeling you get for excitement and for nervousness is exactly the same reaction. Like some people will go into doing something going, oh, I'm nervous about it, and then they're apprehensive and they're not all in. Well, you're the opposite. You go in excited, like, I'm going to nail this, punch it out, like just going to make it happen.
I see it all the time. People they cross new grounds and they get fearful and they just don't go into there. You just got to challenge yourself all the time. And every time I've jumped in the deep end, you just swim out of it. So just do it. I look at it that way.
I like that.
That's a good mentality.
It is a good mentality.
Yeah.
So Movement Realty, then a couple of years young, has grown quite quickly. Tell us a little bit about that growth phase within your business.
Yeah, definitely has done. I've started in an office at home. Then I built a big office at the front of my property that fits about 4 desks. Now we've filled that. That didn't last long, and we're about to get our first shop front.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically it started again with me. My mum was doing bits and pieces on the back end because she's a bookkeeper, bass agent, so I had that covered as well. And then with Tanya, then I got busy enough to get an assistant, and I was always wondering, like, should I commit because I was sort of doing big hours and I don't know if I can afford an assistant yet. But when I love training, so I get up early and train, and I had to cut that out because I was just getting up early to work and keep on top of things, and then working at night, not spending time with the kids. So I kind of figured I'm doing that many hours, I just have to make that jump. So yeah, I got my assistant, and pretty much once I got that, the workload, we just went crazy, and now it's just going and going.
Wow,
That's awesome.
that's so cool.
So yeah, pretty much it's me full time, my assistant full time, my mother's almost full time now, and now I've got 2 agents starting, and now we're doing rental management.
That's
amazing.
brilliant.
Look at that in just 2 years.
Yeah.
All right. So look, we'll take a quick break. Okay. And then we'll go into a little bit more detail about some of the things that drive Movement Realty and some of the systems and things that you believe are really helping you, move this business forward.
Yep.
So we'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back, Jaden.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
so continuing off here with Adam Cini here from Movement Realty, we were discussing a little bit about, the growth and how we got into it. So, Adam, you've obviously, you've got your mum on board now, you've got some assistants, you're sort of growing, you're going through that phase. So what are some of the things, that you've done to sort of get to that point?
Yeah, I always, like, if you think who you're going to trust, like, especially with the accounts and all that sort of stuff, you can't beat anyone but your mum, I guess.
No, of course, yeah.
I trust her with everything, so I've got a pretty good, solid base in that area.
Yeah.
With my assistant, she has been in real estate before, so she's a real quick learner, like super fast. So we've clashed heads a couple of times, but that's only because I'm.
That's the coach in you.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, because I am pretty hard. Because again, I've got high expectations, and I know where I want to be, and because I don't know, from say when I wake up to when I sleep, all I really think about is what my job is and what I'm doing, and other people think about 10 other things and float around, and but yeah, she's learning my ways pretty quickly, and again, yeah, she's very smart. She picks up everything, so. Now it comes to the point where if I need something done, I can kind of rely on her without having to oversee everything now. So again, my team's just getting every time she grows and learns everything, I'm just getting stronger and stronger as well.
Awesome.
And then with the new agents coming on board, we've got at the moment John, who's got a lot of sales experience in the motorcycle industry, and he's had some pretty important jobs in there. So he's no stranger to sales at all. So once he gets the knowledge on the real estate side of things, I think he'll be fine. And then we've also got Selena, who used to be one of the lead agents in Beachmere anyway. So she used to work with me at the other agency, so that's how I know her. Yeah, and I know what she's capable of. So she's just had a kid, had a bit of time out of real estate, wants to come back in. Saw the opportunity with Movement Realty, and so I'm going to get her going again, and I'm sure she'll get back to where she was, where she's going to be probably one of the biggest sellers in sort of Beachmere and Ningi.
So,
Awesome.
like, when you talk about real estate, and sales, there's obviously different industries and things like that, but it's really a common thing. It's just relationships with people, knowing how to read people and negotiate, really, isn't it? So if you're selling, motorbike parts or a house, it's really, obviously it's their biggest asset. It's one massive big sale, but it's that connection that you make with people, and that's important, isn't it?
Yeah, I honestly think be yourself. Like, you can watch videos and YouTube videos all day long of these agents selling in LA, Beverly Hills, or even Australia, around the city and the whatever. Yeah, driving their Ferraris, and every shot is them in their Ferraris more than a house. But that's what gets if that gets them business and that's their industry, good for them. I'm not going to try and be that person. I'm in Moreton Bay and I don't sell those houses. So, and then to me to be someone else would be kind of fake, and I think you'd kind of lose people doing that. So I just think be yourself, be nice, don't. Be genuine. Everyone can sort of sense if you're fluffing on a little bit, and I just tell them what we can do. I don't tell them all these fabulous things that I can't do, but I'll tell them what we need to do, what I believe we need to do to get the best result.
Okay, so what would some of those things be? I mean, you're obviously sort of really big in the marketing space compared to a lot of agents out there now. So has that played a role in what you do as a part of that process?
Yeah, it all depends on the person, but I try and get my point across that to get the best result, everyone wants a great result, but sometimes people don't want to spend marketing money, so I don't know how they're going to get that best result by not throwing it out there to everyone. you can sell your house by doing cheap, poor marketing, but is it a buyer or the best buyer that you're after? So the way I look at it is cast your net out everywhere, pay some money in marketing, get good guys to do it. So yeah, and what I have in place now is not just average, looking for an average buyer. I'm really throwing it out there to make sure that we've got the best result. So yeah, working with you guys, Media Me, has been fantastic. We have a lot of great ideas to bring to the table moving forward, and that might separate us again from the rest. And I like how we have ideas and we just keep evolving. We're not stuck in a rut and everyone's sort of catching up. We'll just keep moving forward. And then, yeah, styling houses. If we can get that in most of them, then you got your best shot to get a good result.
That's right, because people are very visual, aren't they? So, a buyer comes in, they're going to fall in love with the house, or they're going to look for faults in the house. So by marketing it right, they've kind of got that preconception of what the house is going to be like. So they walk in there and go, oh, these rooms are realistic, oh, this is a beautiful home. And then they get emotionally involved, don't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. You get all different buyers. Everyone knows all different buyers. Real estate agents will explain them. But, yeah, if you can get those emotional buyers, then the sky's the limit in what you can get out of them in price. And you're only going to get that by presenting your home well and doing all the right things with, like, media and making it look well presented. So, yeah, that's the way we go about it. We try and go all out, make everything the best we can be to get that result.
So what are some of the other value add things that you would add to that process? You come to the, with them with the experience and like a team of people to help you get to market. But is there anything sort of unique that you do, or what sort of sets you a little bit apart from the others?
I'm always trying to learn about social media. I think that's a massive thing right now. I used to believe it was sort of realestate.com domain, and social media was there to sort of help a little bit, but I don't believe that now. I think it's like social media is there. Like, I don't even sometimes list houses on other platforms now. I just do a coming soon with Facebook, my website, a bit of my database but it's driven from the Facebook. And like this weekend, I got about 5 people going to a listing on Saturday, yeah. And that's purely just by me putting it on Facebook and generating leads. So
that's unreal.
Yeah. Well, you see, people forget that little segment, and we discussed this, didn't we, in a chat we had earlier on, is that people in the buying cycle, right, if they're truly wanting to buy a home, they're going to be on those, realestate.com, domain platforms. They're going to be there every day. They're going to be signing up to alerts. They're invested in making that purchase. What about the ones that were there and going, oh, I'm so disappointed, I haven't found the house I want. But yeah, we still would look if the right one come up. Or you got the ones that aren't quite ready to commit, they're not, heavily into realestate.com and domain. They're all the ones that are on their socials every day. That's where they are when they're not on websites, and then, by doing that approach, you're kind of capturing those people go, oh, I think I found it. Back on the market again. Let's get this one going, Yeah. So it is a very important process in the sales.
Another thing I found is I use Morayfield as an example. If someone wants to buy a house in Morayfield, they're going to type in Morayfield and realestate.com, whatever. But I've actually caught a guy that was only looking in sort of Warner, out that sort of way for acreage, and he would never have come to this property if I didn't have the social media boosting going on. And then that's popped up in his Facebook feed, and he's like, oh, wow, I didn't even think of moving out that way. And so you cast it again.
That's incredible.
Yeah, opening up possibilities, getting people to expand, what they would normally be thinking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you got great marketing, you're on the socials, which is fantastic. I'd say probably, I'd be maybe 1 or 2 in 10, I would say, agents are actually in that space, right? Very, very underutilized area.
Yeah, properly as well.
Yeah, properly as well. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. There's the right way and the wrong way of doing it.
My agent
review
automatically posted from the website. And that's all. That's on
that's
the
junk.
socials.
That's what we call junk mail in social areas. Like, you got to be relevant, don't you? You got to give people like interesting stuff.
Yeah, and like it needs to be personal as well. Like,
I know.
It needs to look like you've actually written it.
Anyway, that's for another episode. Okay. So then you're on social. Yeah. You're doing some styling stuff, which is definitely lifting property prices. When we've seen that time and time again. And obviously your genuine approach is what sort of telling people, hey, look, this is what we do and this is what I am. And
yeah. So I want to keep it that way. Like a lot of my reviews, everyone says I'd say it how it is, and I'm not going to tell them stories, and they appreciate that. So I'm not going to change it. Work hard and stay genuine, and things will come. I lose listings all the time, really. I go into listing presentation, and an agent will tell them a figure that's just out of control, and I just say to them, have they backed up that price? Like, how are you going to get that price? Is it around? Like, but I'm not going to be the guy to tell them that big story, and then a month later, after Struggle Street, like, we shouldn't be in this price. We should be down here. I see houses all the time that have been in like that. I've missed it. A month later, they've sold for what I've told them it would sell for.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm not going to tell stories, but I'll get it done being genuine, I guess.
Definitely.
so
nature of the beast, isn't it?
It is. And I know people have to look out for that. They've got to do their own research and, not fall into that hype. I mean, the market is good at the moment, but that can change at any time. And you don't know who that buyer is until they're there.
Well, if the price is there, we'll find it by going all out in the marketing that we do and getting the house presented the way we want. Even if we put a price guide there, like just the other week, I put a price guide, and it was a house in Morrowfield. They only wanted 340. I thought it was a mid three. I put a price guide of 340, 360, but we got 400. So we done all the right steps. It was styled nice, and again, by doing that, we generated a lot of people in the open home. This was a pretty good story actually, because I didn't list it till late Friday, like Friday night. So I was a bit concerned Saturday would be a bit of a dive.
Yeah.
We got blasted on Saturday, and then Monday someone wanted to do a private inspection. So I thought, well, I'm going there, I'll just make it an open home Monday night. So Monday night, 5:15 was the open home. 24 groups went through. I was just shocked.
Wow.
We had about 4 offers, and it just blasted the guide out and went to 400. So,
Damn.
And that's what I would say was purely because of the way we marketed the property and got all them people there and generated that.
Attracts that attention,
even
doesn't
the
it?
bank valuation guy's like, he sort of smiled and said, how do you feel about the price you just got?
It's pretty damn good, if you ask me. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's all good every day, mate.
No, easy clap.
Yeah, he was good, and he ended up getting it through. So
how good.
Yeah, so the owners are stoked. They basically got 50 grand more than what was expected, and so
that's a win.
You got to push those boundaries. I mean, $50,000 is a lot of money. That's a year's wage for the average person.
How much would that look like if we put it all in cash on this table?
I know, we should do that one day.
Yeah, we should. Well, when we have 50 grand just to
We'll just photocopy it. But that's a new car. I mean, that would be what you paid for your car as a bonus.
Yeah, just there you go.
There's a new car.
Yeah,
paid for.
car.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, you put into that type of sort of perspective, that's huge.
Yeah.
I can, there's so many examples, and one of them was I listed my buddy's home, but because he wanted to buy 5 acres through another agent, again, I won't name names, but he went to sell the property through the other agent because it was subject to his sale, and the agent said, I'll do a subject to sale, but I want control of selling yours. And they just did that standard little ad, no marketing. So this guy had what I'd say one of the best houses in Upper Caboolture on 3,500 square metres, pool, gym, stunning home. And in 90 days, one buyer come through. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, my God.
And so in that time, he had missed the property that he was actually trying to get. So then I just said to my mate, look, just move him on. I'll come and sell it. I'm sure I'm going to sell it. And then so we did all our marketing package. So in 2 weeks we had, I think it was 21 groups through, so not people, groups, multiple offers. And what was it? The agent said to him, the reason we couldn't sell was you needed to bring it down to 680. And no way. But we ended up getting it back to 732. But in that area, I know 732 doesn't sound like much, but in that area, it actually is a pretty fair price up there. So, again, you could have done poor marketing, sold for 680, or we done the good marketing, we're back at 732. So for the sake of a few grand in marketing, really. Yeah,
that could earn you like a yearly wage for somebody. You know what I mean? It's just...
That comes back to that buyer perception. You market it down at this level, people feel it's valued at that level. You know, you market it up here. It's like, oh, wow, that's awesome. Do you know what I mean?
Have to put my best foot forward.
And while we're talking about that listing and social media, that was that listing where the guy was looking at property in Warner and then wanted this property.
Oh, was that?
He was one of the people trying to bid for it, yeah.
There you go. Happy days.
That's amazing. The power of marketing.
So bring on the good marketing.
So that's a perfect example to me and why I believe strongly on what we do. And I'm not happy that I didn't get the first shot at it, but I'm glad that happened because now I have that story and it's no joke. It's a real story and I can show you what average marketing does. And especially in an area like Upper Caboolture, who's going to type in sort of Upper Caboolture unless you know it? They're probably going to type in Morayfield, Caboolture, these sort of suburbs. So, definitely doing what we do is working.
That's brilliant. So
Fantastic.
what are your plans for Movement Realty moving forward, 2021 and beyond?
What does it look like this year and next year?
In the coming years, it's definitely going to be a lot of hustling and hard work, and I'm still going to be an agent.
Yep.
But I do have a role now as I'm taking on, I guess, other agents that I want them to be successful. Again, it's a bit different approach. Like I see other agencies where the agents within themselves are competing against each other, and it's a bit of a snaky pit.
Yep.
But I don't want that at all. I actually want to see them do well.
Embrace.
So yeah, my role now as an owner, I guess a business owner, I have to take that on. So not only do I want to have good numbers, I have to make sure that they've got everything they need in place. So going beyond the next few years, like I want to take on more agents, build my rent roll, get someone in again to manage rent roll and keep building that to the point where maybe the business is big enough where I don't have to be that lead agent in the team anymore. And then I'll sort of step back a bit and sort of help the business grow and sort of look at it that way. So
That's awesome.
That's a great plan.
you never know. I've got a goal to do another agency once I get one working properly and systems in place, but it's all time and having systems in place. And then my goal would be to have another agency and then I just sort of manage them.
How exciting. That's cool.
There you go. Big plans.
Yeah.
Not just a little business from the house anymore. You're ready to go. Like, I've got a new goal in sight.
Bullet a gate. That's
So have you set yourself a time limit and then you've brought that back as well? Or?
I'm going to do it in 30 days.
I don't know. We'll see what happens in 5 years. I think 5 years is probably realistic, but it all depends on, I'm not going to do it unless the first one's running smooth. And
Exactly.
so.
Well, now we have this filmed of you saying 5 years, and then in 2 years' time, we're like, well, Adam,
how you tracking?
just play this old bit of the podcast here. You said it was 5 years, and here we are. You've taken over Australia, and you're moving on to England, and
Yeah, it'd be awesome, wouldn't it? So thanks very much, Adam, for coming along today. It's been awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure and good fun.
Yeah, you like it? You like the setup? Is this cool?
It's awesome.
There we go. All right, Adam Cini, everyone from Movement Realty. So yeah, thanks very much for coming along. And if you're out sort of in his patch, give him a bell.
Yeah, or Moreton Bay.
Love to help you out.
Yeah, I do all through Moreton Bay. I got agent Beachme and Ningi and now Bribey. So
there you go.
Brilliant.
All over
Adam
the place.
Cini,
Adam
Movement
Cini,
Realty.
Movement Realty. Thanks, mate.
cheers.
Cheers.
Cool.